You really should. It's entirely worth it.
Tommy, do you want me to mail you the entire DVD set that I have?
Well, I'll probably see you in the next week or so. We've been talking. Anyway, I hit record, so I don't know if we're playing FFD20 or not, but it's running. So here we go. We're back. I'm still kind of waking up from an impromptu nap after pasta, so my tummy feels funny. And my name is Tommy, and it's time to fight more ghosts in our patron Final Fantasy D20 game. As always, it's so hard with 7 people in the group, but I'm gonna get it. Here we go. It's Jason, and it's Ross, and it's Nick.
6.
Oh, quiet, you! That's just gonna be 7 because we already replaced you. Haha. Anyway, Jason and Ross and Nick and Josh and Spell and Idaho and Tiki. It literally is the same name. I'm looking at the token. I can't process forward, but we did it. Thank you guys for your support on Patreon. And yes, as the ghost behind me has said, this will be Brienne's last session, unfortunately. But
Oh no.
we will have a new character jumping in right on her heels. But that is not today. Today is this here dungeon. So we'll take that in character reflection. Again, as always, running from top to bottom. If you guys... So that way you could... I thought I had to burp, but I didn't. Neato. I'm not gross. You're gross. So you can put a voice to the token. We run them a top to bottom, and we start with the man who dropped his gun and ran away last time. You might know him as Jason. We know him here as old Nigel. I think you're in Discord, right? Yeah, you're always so quiet. Jason is dead. Pass. Hear you. Neato. And now he's disconnected. So, okay. Actually, we're going to take it to the man with the new job. The man who has, he's kind of become a meme here at BDG mostly for being involved with Tiki solo for so long and coming from 5e, not really knowing the keys to the optimization car. And then there was a combat where he got all mad and attacked things, and I really like his class. It's old Aloran or Ross. Take it away, my man. Now watch him have... Oh, we can hear him. Neat. We did it.
Yeah, you're just a bit quiet on my end, so I had to pay attention.
So you had to pay attention. I'll turn me up a little.
I get nagged when I make fun of you in your last min-maxing for fun and profit. I get nagged when I'm, talking about issues. Am I just the nagger? Am I just the nagged? I don't know. But, in character. It's been maybe, a month, 2, 3, I don't know, since I actually had to step back into my powers. It feels the same as always, disturbing, unnatural, concerning, and yet so intoxicating. I can taste the power just practically oozing out of every pore in my body. Needless to say, it does not tend to put me in the best of moods when I'm in it, but it does make quite the results. But for now, I need to figure out why the hell there are a bunch of undeads on board, and... Oh, bollocks, I'm gonna have to explain to the rest of the group what that was. Yay.
When the adventuring party meets and it's not level 1 and they already have their crazy powers, well, yes, there is some explaining to do. Take your hero point, and we'll send it back up now to Jason. Actually, wait, no, we won't. Ross still has to tell us who he is and what he's playing, what his Gestalt combo is.
Oh, whoops. My apologies.
I'm awake.
I am Aloran, a Humi, Dark Knight / Red Mage. I am Gishi Boy.
Gishy boy. All right, Jason.
Okay, can you hear me now?
What?
Tommy.
Yeah.
It didn't take me long to figure out you were messing with me.
Oh, good.
You youngsters and your whiteboards. Okay,
I do want to hear the story about how you once upon a time in high school had to play D&D with sticks and stones. But not right now.
Okay, I'm playing Nigel Greysmoke. He is Albed, and he is a Gestalt engineer, Mako weapon specialist, and thief rogue. And thanks to recent developments, I've completed one of the feat trees that I was working on the rogue archetype side, and let's just put it this way, things are about to get nasty if I ever can hit something from stealth, as opposed to right now, where last time I failed a will save and spent this combat basically cowering, waiting to die. And this is this is not good for Nigel. Because to say he has had minor emotional trauma would be an understatement. We're talking minor trauma like a doctor saying, oh, this will hurt just a little bit. So, yeah. So things are kind of shaky at the moment for him on the emotional side. Other than that, sounds like fun.
Fair enough. As someone who just got a couple of cavities filled, this will hurt just a little bit from the doctor notion is, yeah, that's still with me in my heart. Anyway, I take that hero point, and we get one more now from, again, the person who I thought would do the most in combat as we moved on, but I guess we just won't see it. And also the cat's going away, so the cat will stay as an NPC. We will keep the cat. The cat is awesome. Nick, what you play and who are you? Give us that in-character reflection, if you would, my man.
My name is Brian Rothschild. Others from my homeland might know me as Phantasma. I am playing as the Gestalt of the Dancer and Illusionist classes. And right now I'm feeling pretty out of my league. Pyromancers and bloodthirsty street thugs and mob bosses, that's something I can understand, but ghosts, did it have to be ghosts? This is what I'm used to ever having to fight or experience, but some of the people here seem to be able to handle it a bit better. But that would be the worst thing if it weren't for this horrible headache that I'm starting to get. I thought it was nothing, but no way. I hope it doesn't interfere with right now, though.
Good enough. I take that hero points. And we send it down to the man I recently called the Chewie to my Han. And then somebody in the comments was like, well, Tommy, Chewie dies. Don't call him that. That's mean. Whoops. I guess I already did. He's got cards that explode. He's got a hat. He's got a new token coming. He actually recently also, as well as a lot of these classes, I haven't looked at it yet, but the thing I like the most about FFD20 is that there's it's a very living bit of content. It's constantly changing. Things are all the time getting overhauled. We send it now to Josh King, the Lizard, the Wizard, both.
Hello, everyone, and I'm playing a Banga card shark gambler / black mage, and my reflection is that I should probably not try to bite a ghost. I should probably, when I find out that casting lightning tends to damage the ghost pretty good, I should stick with it. Other than that, this place is really creepy, and I feel like I'm just getting my feet wet when it comes to combat. I haven't really had to fight much in my life. I've usually been able to just flee or depend on this my friends in the circus that were stronger than me. So I'll get the hang of it, but for right now, lesson number 1 is don't bite the ghost.
You hear that, kids? Lesson number 1. Don't bite the ghost. I'll send that over to my Carrying Crown players if they don't TBK. But that's a different story.
Service announcement brought to you by the Lizard Wizard.
The man from the 80s with his 80s cartoons. But there it is. It's played through. Take your hero point, and we take it to the man who probably has had the best introduction this entire go. The man who's proven that you can play a healer at the tabletop and it be really good. Actually, it turns out. All soul, golden soul. Take it away, Spellcraft.
Dealing with the undead, not spirited enough? Better call Saul. Saul Golden Soul and Luna Silver Soul are the current experts in all things that go bump in the night. When they bump, we bump back. We can also help you with any bumps, scrapes, bruises, goose eggs, and debilitating conditions you might accrue. Come seek us for all your exorcism, healing, and healing exorcism related needs. I'm also working on my physical trainer's license, but that's only so I can exercise humans and ghosts, considering that I play a white mage exorcist cleric. My cat, however, is a cat. Granted, a celestial outsider cat, but a cat nonetheless. Make of that what you will. Last session, I dealt very harshly with ghosts through the precision application and very widespread application of positive energy. It may have been positive energy, but it had a very negative effect on the ghosts.
And you, my friend, are a treasure. Oh, every time. Every time. Always puts a smile on my face. And we send it down to... He was a man. Was a dragon man. But he's not playing Trogdor. And my age is showing.
Just a dragon.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. It's on you, my friend.
Maybe. I am Parallax Broomsbane. And last session, just got a lesson myself in how to use Blue Mage magic and learn stuff. And ghosts have a lot of fun little abilities to learn for the Blue Mage, so lesson learned. But yes, I'm a black dragon, and I have a little dragon brother that follows around with me. And that's about it.
But what's your Gestalt combo?
Oh, of course. Blue Mage, what is it called? Blue Mage Morpher. So I can turn into the creatures that I are copying. And and Dragoon, Dragon Rider, which gives me a little dragon companion, which I don't like using combat because he's my little buddy.
He's your...
And he likes to terrorize the countryside.
your little buddy. Fair enough. All right, take it up, Tiki.
And I am Tekisri the Artificer, an engineer, disciple of the Hand, monsterkin construct. And I don't know about you, but that soldier fellow got so much more interesting today. But that being said, I have noticed none of these monsters seem to give a crap about me. And this is good. Just means I have more time to line up my shots. But anyway, this is a waste of time. We need to go in here, find what we're looking for, get out so I can make more things. Maybe, I don't know, if we can find the other half, we might repair this thing. That being said, what did these things do to Nigel? For that matter, where is Nigel? I cannot see him.
Fair enough. I take that hero point, and we will open the floor up to the party. Nigel, after... Oh, I don't remember what was rolled, but I'm going to say like 30 more seconds. Nigel's able to get it together, chill out, come back down from the wall to retrieve his rifle and stuff. And the floor belongs to y'all.
I'd go over to try to help Nigel get his stuff, hand it back to him.
I sheath my sword and
you.
grab my rifle off the ground from where I tossed it earlier.
Glancing over to Aloran. Well, that was interesting. Good show.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
granted, we just get attacked by a bunch of ghosts, but
No, I'm not okay. I'm probably never going to be okay. For the rest of my life, I shall continue to not be okay. But I'm not dead. So there's
Why
your
was
answer
that
to
not
that question.
okay? That was amazing. How did you do this?
It was not natural. But,
Who
well,
cares about being natural? It was amazing.
let's just say a few things have come out of it that I blame on it, and I'd prefer not to remember it right now.
what kind of, sorry to interrupt you, but what kind of role would we need to do to what kind of, I guess, class that Aloran is?
He's probably behind, I don't know. Arcana would get some of it. History, probably. Arcana or history, I feel like.
Right, I'm gonna have Jarrett try to roll an Arcana.
I'd also say there's an element of religion in it because of some of the stuff I've talked to you about.
Yeah, makes sense. Maybe even any like sciencey related things. 16 would give Jareth that Aloran is really good with his sword and also has some kind of like innate magical ability.
I feel like
I'm
anyone
not a
else could have.
robot. I'm not a robot, Tiki. I am fleshy.
He's definitely not a robot.
Just
Can
had to-
confirm.
Had to make sure.
No, fair.
Well, my apologies. I haven't run like that since I was a child. Sorry.
Yeah, there's no shame in falling to the effect of a monster.
These things are using wicked magic. It would affect any of us, even the most stalwarts of one, if we do not hold ourselves in just the right angle.
Oh. To address a priest boy. Know anything about these things? You seem to be the best at actually hurting them, or, you know, being a priest and all. By the way, sorry.
No, you're asking the important questions
Out
right
of
now.
character, on my knowledge religion result, how much would I?
You would know quite a bit. Definitely they were ghosts. There are several kinds of undead out there. There are several kinds of incorporeal undead out there. But these guys were pretty run-of-the-mill. What's happened here was that when the ship crashed...
Oh, I'm sorry, I misheard. I thought they were asking if I knew anything about what just happened earlier with the Dark Knight.
With the Dark Knight.
No, I was referring to the ghosts.
Oh, I wouldn't have even...
Exorcist ability, I presume?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
So with the 27 on the Dark Knight, then... Yeah, that probably gives you the majority of the class features of the Dark Knight and like how it is. Maybe not how Aloran was created, but there is a lot of... Let me actually... You know what? Here we go. We're going to the classes. We're going to click on base classes. We're going to go to Dark Knight.
That is one of the things I liked about, say, Wizards of the Coast Complete series. It actually gave you a table of what you'd be able to find out via the relevant skills for the more obscure classes.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you mean. So there's a lot of evil in Aloran, a lot of darkness, a lot of anguish, pain, anger. So much so that it's almost like a possession, I imagine, from the way like a priest would look at it. And either Aloran is channeling it or it is channeling him. In either case, when he wants to hurt you, he's very good at it. It would also, I guess, that you would get the fact that it's so powerful when it overtakes him that you are incapable of healing him when it happens.
The ghosts we dealt with were rather run-of-the-mill. There was nothing truly special about them. They fell to my spells and everyone's martial prowess relatively easily. As for what happened, it's not really my place to say, but know that I am always here if you need to talk.
You know, you might, even I, a robot, have the social cues to know you should not say something like that after one of our friends has just had, a run-in with their magical prowess of being able to make him scared.
Supernatural
I don't
fear
know
is
about where you guys are from, but where I'm from, when the dead die, they usually stay dead.
To say where I come from, drastic measures call for unholy measures would be an understatement.
Oh boy.
That is relative.
Yes.
Oh man, here I was hoping you were the one main person here.
Oh, I still loved the show, though.
I am saying simply because of the fact that I claw on my sanity. I have watched many people with similar abilities to my own be driven to worse madness than I've seen others. I am human because I fight to stay human.
Than me.
Nigel, do not let these damn things hold you down. Literally damned, considering the context. Am I allowed to laugh at that? I say, just kind of like looking at Soul.
Ghosts wield fear the way we wield spells and arms. It's understandable that someone that had a lot of trauma in their past could be shaken up by it. There is no shame in this.
Even I, the robot, could have fallen to their powers. I didn't because they weren't targeting me.
I'm gonna start moving these big boxes out of the way.
Okay, understood.
I was hoping like Tommy could get me and Brienne over to where the rest of the party is, because I still can't see them, and I'm not certain
I'm
where
confused
I
as
can
to like
move.
where we are.
Well, let me remove the dynamic lighting. Step. I guess another thing I should point out in regards to the ghost that Soul would definitely know is that just like destroying the incorporeal body of the ghost is not enough to send its spirit on. They exist because of some trauma that happened to them. Most likely when the ship crashed, that was what killed them, and they have risen in undeath, and they will come back. They will recorporate incorporeal forms in a few days.
Looking to loot the box.
Okay. Understood. And I see that we have a Cure 2 from Aloran on himself. As you go to loot the box, there is a really hastily scribbled note where, like, it's sitting at an awkward angle, and as you've opened it, the body fell out. But there's a little bit where like door ends and wall begins, where there's just a tiny folded up piece of paper. The pencil is there as well. And in common, over and over, the scribblings start out kind of sane sounding, lack of a better word. As it goes farther and farther down, it gets a little more deranged, starting out like, this should protect me from them, this should protect me from the dangers of the flight. And the farther down it goes, it's just like, it turns into just, please let me see my family again, please let me survive this. scribbled into madness, more or less.
I'm going to collect up all the bones from the skeleton and put them into storage. Hey, you priest.
Skin up to these remains and give them a proper burial. I had intended to do so at a later point.
Yes, I figure you'd be one of those. I'll just keep them in my storage.
Are you sure that's a good idea to be carrying them around?
They're on another plane of existence.
Are they?
Well, she takes out her hidden chest, sits it on the ground, flips it up, and you want to look inside yourself.
And kind of like her face goes a little red. Is like, I don't need to look at your chest. Thank you.
Are you sure? I
I'm
climb
very
into
sure.
the chest,
I'm
disappearing.
sure. You just.
To be fair, it is a rather nice chest.
Oh, God. Oh dear Lord.
Anyway, setting the remains in a corner of my extra dimensional space and climbing back out. Well, seeing as the cleric's going to want to bury these, I guess we'll store them.
So,
Fair.
body look like it might be, or the node or the corpse at least, because I imagine it must have been. Was a part of the crew, or was this somebody who had come exploring in here a while ago?
Oh, hey, good point. I should roll heal for that.
Okay.
Such a waste. So many useful things you can make with bone.
Oh gods.
Okay, so
Let me speak on behalf of the rest of the party when I say I don't think the rest of us want to have anything to do with materials made of bone. It's not
necrocraft.
human bone.
Absolutely.
So to bring
Fine.
one of the tokens back in here and to scroll in on it. Ooh, or try to scroll in on it then. Is that as far as I can zoom? This map is really, really big.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do this. Rather. That's what the ghost looks like, and it would certainly appear, especially to those of you in the party who have a military
I
background.
can't see anything.
Hmm.
On the map?
Christ.
In the dark.
There you go.
Okay.
Center
now
of the screen.
Okay, yeah, so the ghosts look like aviator, like.
Yes, the ghosts appear as if they had served on the ship. They're dressed in full, like, Air Force gear, basically.
Yeah.
The body... I'm going to shrink him back down. Boom. The body is a little... It's kind of small for a hume, but a hume it probably was. However, the bones have been, I won't say picked clean, but there's nothing on them. It is literally just a skeleton, not unlike you would find in like a science class in high school hanging on the wall, that kind of thing. It's as if it had been here for a very long time.
Oh. Fran, I'm very shaken up by this. I am not used to this at all.
I look like this is another Tuesday.
I'd either open up the passage out or cut another hole on the other side so people wouldn't have to climb, and I'm heading towards the next one.
Good to know.
Okay.
Hold your horses, Alarm. Where are you going?
Sticking with Tiki.
I can't see anything.
Yes, you can.
Should be
Now
able
I
to.
can.
I have like torchlight on my
Mhm.
gun, which I have my weapon drawn. I have my sword drawn, seeing as these things have attacked us in melee so far.
Got you. Okay, so those boxes there where you guys are is like the way they have fallen is very serendipitous in the fact that they've made a perfect almost block between this part of the passage and the next, but they're all very precarious, hanging out at odd angles, just like the physics landed just right, that they're all stuck in together, but it wouldn't take much to cause them to fall apart.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to fly over.
They run both floor to ceiling and wall to wall.
Oh,
Engineering check to find out where the best place to go through would be.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. So the easiest way to do it would be to remove some of the pieces at the top. Because if something, like the top isn't supporting anything, it's not like pulling out a Jenga block too far down and the whole thing comes down.
right.
All right, everyone back up.
Don't have to tell me twice.
I'm backing up.
Dragon, you mind
Yes.
helping?
And I'm going to ready an action to cast an illusionary solidified wall in case this thing actually does fall down on us.
Sounds good to me.
And I'm going to give you another profession engineering and then a strength check.
Seems good.
Actually, I don't have very good strength, so.
You don't?
It's going to suck. No, actually.
Ah.
Not for. Yeah, my strength is actually going to suck for at least another 2 or 3 levels.
Okay. Yeah, the two of you working together, it's not a light container, but you are capable of moving it. Oh, let me really quickly jump into the dynamic lighting and I will change it for you. Boom, 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 bang.
Yeah, boom, boom, pow.
Yes. I'm trying to draw, well, I guess there is no way to do it. I just have to flat erase the whole piece, I think. Hang on. There's no eraser tool. Give me an eraser tool. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna... The whole thing is kablooey. It didn't go kablooey. It doesn't fall apart. That's where the dynamic lighting is.
Chocobo Hall.
Is your friend. And as...
They renamed Ant Hall Chocobo Hall. That's funny.
Of course they did. Anywho, as you guys move boxes and stuff, the pair of you can see the end of the hallway down here, and here there's a door.
All right. Do we want to look through each of these containers or just head on inside?
To be fair, we do have to worry about those ghosts coming back until we can find and consecrate their remains. However, I'm not aware of anyone else coming out here to mess with this airship. I think we should focus on the things that are more actively going to kill us first.
All right, then. I would attach several webbing lines to the ceiling and take them all the way to the floor, and then go put rungs in between them.
Okay. Well, if you would draw that on the board for us.
That's cute. The robot thinks I need I need structures to climb things. I actually really do. At least at this level, I do. Sorry.
I took Hop Not Flight, and even then, they've really neutered flight in in FFD20. That's like the one thing they actually weaken.
Fair enough.
Just magic a trampoline in front of me and just soar 100 feet in the air with a 30 acrobatics.
Yeah, but I basically make a webbing ladder.
All right. That's fine.
Okay.
Com check.
There you go. And then there's the Nigel.
Hey, there you go.
Yay! All I had to do was not use my computer at all and run it off my phone.
Okay, to catch you up real quick, the dragon and I have moved one of the boxes at the top, and I have currently made a web line ladder from the ceiling to the floor where that purple line is.
Okay.
Does anyone see a purple line? I don't see a purple line.
I don't.
I see no line.
Hey, stand by.
I have a line on my screen.
Weird.
All right, it's from.
Let's just imagine that it's there.
Okay, there's a line from where Brianna is standing to Oh, here. That's because I still thinks I'm drawing.
There's the line.
Boom!
Hey!
Hey!
Up we go.
Hey!
Da, 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 da.
Da-da-da-da.
Da, 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 da. Yay. Okay, so you'll have to make me one of those. The web shooty things. That'll be super useful for what I have. Trying to magic a trampoline in front of myself and hoping I can jump high enough onto a building has not been the best, hasn't been the most efficient means of scaling across buildings in my career.
I assume where I have attached the line here is stationary because you did not undraw it on my screen.
Yeah. Yep, they are V stationary.
Yay.
So this is the point where, remember, when you are on these squares and then like making your way down, because this is still the wall.
Right.
Making your way down.
Check or anything?
Nah, there's enough for like, we'd be shoehorning a DC 5 if he's making rungs in between.
Yeah, I'm making a ladder. It's actual ladders. I don't want to chance any of my new friends
Sure.
falling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're friends now. I'm flattered.
You have to keep in consideration that she is not a
I
very
know.
social person,
I know.
so she has found a group that is somewhat accepting of her, and this is my group now. Like a cat, I own you all. This is mine. You are all mine. Friends.
That's both flattering and creepy, but I'll go with it for now.
But what if Lizard Wizard is a dog lover?
Get out of
As
this
a what
call.
lover?
A dog lover.
Yeah, Lizard Wizard's a dog lover.
That's fine. I have cat mentality. You are all my people.
That's okay.
Which is another way of saying cat don't care what you are, except theirs.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Lizard, Saul, and Nigel, your things need to move if you're coming up.
Yep.
Maybe
Or a
they-
dog.
They want to stay in the back. That's all they want to do. They just want to hang out back there.
I
Nice and safe.
said if
No.
they are coming up.
Right, a lot of
No.
dogs have that mentality too, especially like large dogs, like a Rottweilers that still think that they're babies, so they'll just crawl onto their owner's lap, but they're so massive that they're basically like squashing them underneath them,
Mhm.
but they don't care because they just think that they're, no,
'Cause there's-
cuddle time is now. I don't care if I weigh 180 pounds and you're only a 17-year-old person. I'm going to sit on top of you and cuddle with you because I said so.
Well, someone had a Rottweiler growing up.
I had a friend that did.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so I see several ladders have been drawn all over the board. People begin making their way down. Aloran stands on another box, away from everybody, brooding.
Not brooding, just
Checking
kind
the
of
door and
watching.
Okay. The door does open. Bam.
Look, I am the kid whose parents are goth, whose siblings are goth. I am oh, what was that? I am basically the Thor of this group or of my people. Almost all of my siblings and my family are like super duper goth, and then I'm the band geek.
Heads in the wall.
There are beds
My
on
favorite meme.
the floor. As you guys make your way up through there, this is clearly some kind of this is where the people did the sleeping here. There are all those beds are as they appear and they are bolted to the floor. So as things turned, they didn't there are several pillows and blankets on the floor, but the beds themselves remain stuck to what is now the wall.
I haven't actually put that up yet. It's preemptive. After the DM says what happens when we enter.
Nothing
That's
happens.
where the
Nothing bad happens when you enter.
All right. At this point, I guess I'd ask anyone if they had a spare ether.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you know the last encounter?
Didn't even think of that.
A spare what now?
Ether. It's a mana potion.
So heal magic.
Oh.
It's a mana potion.
Nope.
I think you all know how I regenerate my mana.
Aren't ethers hard to come by anyway? At least.
I
You
think
can't
we're
buy
at
them
the
at the shop. We're hoarding them.
They cost about the same as a healing potion. So
Huh, okay.
I mean,
anyway, that is the intended path for the new ladder,
Okay, understood.
and just waiting for everybody to come up. I will probably come down here and make sure no
go
one
up.
falls.
Oh, I was making sure that's what we had to do. Okay, sorry. So up we go. So just start crawling inching our way ever upward.
Yep.
So the beds are like, they look like they're like bolted to the wall beside us as we're going up, huh?
Right. Like you could definitely, off the ladder, you could like swing over to a bed and hold onto it, and you're in no danger of pulling the bed down.
Gotcha. And now I've left everybody else in darkness.
Wahahaha.
Yeah. Yes, you have.
Sorry.
Actually, Josh, I think what you might have done is you have wedged yourself in the dynamic lighting. There you go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to move where the rest of the party is.
Makes sense.
easier said than done.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's weird that with the dynamic lighting, you should at least be able to see your token with the darkness. Maybe not be able to see your surrounding area, but at least be able to see where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Air, can you guys see now?
Yeah, you're all the way down there.
Yep, everybody has line of sight in there. Everybody has some ability to see.
Okay.
People should be able to see my light too, since I
Okay.
cast a basically light on my gun.
Open you go.
Okay.
And I
Hey guys.
Yes, Jason.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go. My boy fell and whacked his eyebrow pretty good, so he's going to the hospital for stitches.
Oh no.
Oh.
All right, man. We'll see you next time. Okay.
So
Indeed.
yeah, be happy
Yeah.
to bot. Y'all can bot me. Have my sheet on in the in roll 20,
Yeah.
and generally he's going to be fairly cautious, but yeah. And Tiki knows knows my special effects chain at this point, so if it's physical and I can stealth around it within range, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So-
I actually probably just going to leave that for you for next time. We'll just say Nigel's still kind of shook up over the ghosts.
Fair enough.
That works.
Alrighty, have a good
So
night,
I-
dude.
Okay, bye.
And as you guys make your way up the ladder, it's good that Jason said that when he did. He will have immunity from the next round. But
Uh-oh.
oh, boom!
Is this a surprise round?
It's not a surprise round. They aren't quite smart enough for surprise rounds, but they do enter in. They enter in the squares that they enter in. And if you guys could roll initiative.
Oh, bollocks.
Alright, well, can I get onto the bed so that way I'm not hanging like that?
Yeah, you can take a move action and do that.
Alright, then do I need to make any checks like climb or acrobatics or anything?
Yeah, give me an acrobatics check. The bed is wide enough to, like, where a human could put their feet down on the frame, but, like, only just.
Alright, that's a +6 because armor penalty. Ugh.
You kids
That
in your
goes away
armor.
next level, 13. Ugh.
13's probably fine, yeah. That seems like a reasonable number. You don't have a lot of room to maneuver, but you're definitely there. And
Free action, swords in 2 hands.
Roger that. And onto the spoopy ghost, who will float
Oh
up
dear.
Oh, dear spoopy ghosts with a fly speed of 30 with perfect maneuverability. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 shall fly there up the ladder. As it does so, what is a good one? I didn't like that one as much as I thought I would. It's gonna, actually, it does not float. No, it does. It has to, because it's within 30 feet to do that. So, yeah, we'll, within a 30-foot spread should be the entire party. If everyone could make a will save. And we'd also need a spellcraft check from our blue mage.
Ugh. Dice, you are failing me.
Hey, what am I? The will save, you say?
Please.
Will save, yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
That is real good. Okay.
Oh no!
Oh, goody. Okay, so first things first, our blue mage does identify the grave reel, or the frightful moan ability. And
I'm using my hero point.
Hey,
Yes,
I
sir.
know that.
okay,
I get
cool.
bonus against that.
Nice. And you pass with flying colors anyway. And Soul would like to use Soul's hero point. Ooh, that always feels so bad. That's rough. Okay. So,
I'll donate mine.
sure, why not? I will be a kind GM. He's gonna roll a 12, watch.
Stop it. You stop it. Stop it.
When you
That's
roll
not nice.
5, then a 4.
I swear to goodness, Tommy, if you called this, you're a big fat meanie.
I know I am. You don't gotta tell me that. You ain't gonna call. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, as the ghost opens its mouth and an unearthly shriek comes out, Aloran hears it as propaganda from his home nation and the sounds of the equipment bubbling as what made him him once again pump through his body and his mind's ear as Brienne hears the sounds of buildings being exploded by tanks and mages being round up and shot. Everyone else is just great, though.
Ugh.
All right. You two are panicked for the next 3 rounds.
Damn.
Bollocks.
And it is the Lizard Wizard.
All right, and the lizard wizard is not liking this creepy bad in its face, so he is going to 5-foot step down one.
Okay, so to do that would be you would need to be holding on to the ladder or have some means of flight.
Yeah, and I don't really want to cast fly in this situation because that's probably bad. Can I go back 5 feet onto the bed?
You are currently standing on the bed. The beds are in, for all intents and purposes, the beds are in the wall, and it's like a big rung ladder almost.
Sure. All right. In that case, I'm just gonna attack the ghost diagonally in front of me. I'm going to basically throw. Let me get my sheet. I'm going to throw as best as I can do the +1 keen kinetic card with rapid shot and deadly aim.
Okay, sounds good.
Get some 2 times rolls on this one. So.
Okay. So a 13 does not confirm. And if you could give us the second one.
All right.
And it hits, so they're denied their dex to the next one. So the second one... Damn, Josh. Did you just... Not bad. So the second one does confirm. For some numbers. Whew. Okay, so... And Josh, you rolled a 1 and a 1 and a 5 on the first one. It's... Since I did make this character, I feel it's worth mentioning because you may not understand it as well. When the gambler says it has an ability to reroll dice rolls, it's not just d20s. Your luck pool can reroll any single roll. So if you don't want to keep 115, you can reroll 3d6. That's why I like this class so much.
That's 3 luck points. I'll have to spend it for each one, won't I?
I do not think so. Hang on one sec. That's Giltos Luck Pool. It's 1 luck point as an immediate action, or take a swift act. Hold on. With these luck points, he can spend them to reroll any single roll for himself with 1 luck point as an immediate action, or take a swift action that does not count against the gambler's normal limit of 1 swift action per round that can be used with gambler class features, which is not that. So as an immediate action, you would reroll, basically. For the cost of 1.
I'll re-roll the damage. So 3d6 plus 9. So, yeah.
Gross. The other one was 661. Dang. Okay, fair enough. And that's much better. Okay. So you turn your crossbow staff and just kind of like 2 cards get put in side by side, and it's able to dodge around the first one in such a way that rather than stick between its nose, it kind of nicks it in where its ear should be, but the lean is where like the second card pierces his eye, and then they both go boom. For nice, fair enough. For quite a bit of good damage. And that was a full round action.
Sure.
So for the next 3 rounds, Brienne is panicked. Brienne, whatever you are holding falls down through the door. It falls pretty far. What are you holding, actually?
I was holding my staff, which is the only thing that can hurt them and is the source of the light that we're currently using.
And it falls 100 feet.
Not good.
So that's fun. That happened.
And I guess Brienne is gonna start scrambling up the ladder, just shouting, no, stop it.
She is on the ladder.
Yep.
And that is a staff. Any chance that we could roll to see if it gets stuck in the ladder?
Or maybe it lands on the frame of one of the beds.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a 50-50 shot that it gets hung on the door. Because it's big enough that it could, like, feasibly stick across. High or low, Nick?
Should I roll higher? I'm going to say high.
Okay. So it sticks on the door. It's not as bad. I'll just grab this light and poop it down there. Nevertheless, it does fall, like, through and through the ghost and lands.
And now I'm going to start scrambling upwards as much as my movement will allow me.
All right, so you get hung where Soul is. You can't go up any further from there.
Okay.
Question: are immediate actions on your turn only?
They are both. They are on your turn or not your turn, but it costs you your next turn's swift action.
All right.
Yeah, immediate is basically an instant spell.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, in that case, as they start falling, I will cast Choco Feather.
Okay. Did you have the range to cast it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who fell?
The staff, of course.
Oh no, the staff just.
Spelled no person fell. It was an object.
It was my power staff.
Oh, then I'm not going to worry about it. Sorry.
But
right.
I am like throttling the ladder underneath you, just yelling hysterically about, "No, stop it! No, stop it! Yeah!" Just freaking out.
And on that note, if everyone could make... Let me double check that and be double great for the both of us, Dewey. As it goes to the next ghost, let's see, we got... creatures must make it do that. Creature that... By the same ghost's mode. Okay, wanted to be sure. So this ghost is going to do the same thing. Will saves all around, please.
Oh boy.
Even from me and Brienne?
Yes. Because you guys could roll double 4.
Oh dear. Well, I'm shafted.
And just waiting on it to kiss me. Ooh, fair enough. Okay, so I guess before I jam in the 2d4, since now we're swinging hero points around, Parallax, Brienne, and Takisri all 3 fail.
Versus fear.
Oh wait, could we use the hero points for rerolls?
Yes, that's what they're
I
for.
forgot about that.
So versus fear, it's right now versus fear you would have a 15 and still fail.
16 because I know that trick.
Still fail.
Oh, okay.
Close.
Well, hold on. If I do a reroll and I roll like a 20, would I still fail then?
I will not say. You could reroll.
I would like to try.
Okay.
Maybe some good will come out of it because I know I passed mine.
Technically, I have a -2 to the save because I'm already panicked, but you know, if there's a chance I can avoid this one, then I'll take it.
If there's a -2 involved, then that would be
And there's no chance.
That
would be a 17 from me.
I might as well re-roll it.
Does the 17 still make me fail, or
17 fails, yeah.
Wow.
I forgot that shaken was a thing.
I might as well re-roll it here.
Yep.
Oh,
Bam!
there we go.
Nailed it.
Fuck. Fine, I'm gonna re-roll as well. With
Okay.
that -2.
And in the first round of combat, we burnt out, everyone's hero points except for... We burnt out a lot of hero points. Okay, so... That's
Hooray.
Takisri, Aloran, Brienne, and that is all. Are panicked for... No changes. Actually, the only thing that changes for Brienne is the clock resets, basically. 3 rounds of panic, and then this ghost is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, ghosting up through the beds. It comes out of the bed to make its attack. It's gonna do a grab. I'm gonna go at Aloran with it for adding a that thing. Neato. I'm using ghosts so much I should probably make macros for him. One day. Boom! 23 over Aloran's touch.
Why did it have to be ghost?
That hits.
For some shadow damage, if you could give me a fort save.
Hooray. Do I take a -2 to this as well?
If you're panicked and it's a -2 to all saves, so yeah.
Hooray.
And that fails.
17.
So, 27 points of shadow damage as this thing's hand goes inside you. As you're hearing the propaganda of your nation repeated on loop, this thing's hand comes. Its head, that's like torso up, basically, comes up, grabs you by the throat, and squeezes.
It is a very bad touch.
It's not a good touch. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And Lizard Wizard, it misses so wide. Hilariously wide. It's impossible for it to have touched you. And we pass the spellcraft.
This probably doesn't actually affect anything, but I'm actually immune to sonic damage, so that doesn't do anything to this, because it says it's a sonic mind affecting.
Yeah, it's not sonic damage, though.
Okay, I had to make sure.
Wait, did we not describe that the fear doesn't affect objects last time we were together?
No, that was the fort save.
What's it?
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay, my apologies.
passes to spellcraft.
Oh boy. If ever there was a need for a holy man, now is the time.
Indeed.
Okay.
Please tell me you have fear
In
on
that case, I am.
Turn undead.
I don't actually. I really did not think. I haven't taken that yet. 1 second.
Okay.
Isn't my light source technically... Aren't we technically in darkness now since we dropped the light source?
Aloran is also a light source.
Oh, okay.
And mine's strapped to my back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you know what? No, you're panicked too, Aloran.
Yeah, I had my sword in my hands.
Is that not what your light source is?
No, my
Oh.
sword's my gun, which I put
What?
on my back.
Your sword's your gun.
No, I don't have a gun sword. I have a knight sword. I have
Gotcha.
an assault rifle on my back, which I had cast light on.
Gotcha. Okay,
And
and
that's on my back on a sling.
Tikisri doesn't drop anything. Yeah, fair enough. Hockey dokie. Anyway, so while Spellcraft is deliberating, I'm going to move down to the fourth ghost, who has yet to go.
Killaga.
Also good. Alrighty. And that targets... How many of them can I hit? Or can you hit with that?
Given the diameter, given the fact that it's in a 20-foot radius burst, it looks like I can hit all of them.
Nice. Alright, so you need a fort save from me.
I think it's technically will save.
Okay, understood. Here we go. Plus that. Oh, doop-a-doo. Where's my will save? There's my will save. And here comes 6 of them. 1, 2, 3. Dang ghosts. 4, 5. Okay, and 6. So, I don't know what my DC is, but I'm assuming 23, 25, 25 are fine. 16, 10, and 8 probably aren't.
It is DC 17.
Nice. Okay. Sounds good to me. So then, how much damage do I take?
The ones that fail take 11. The ones that
Yes,
take
that one.
22.
Understood. Okay, so I don't know if this has changed since the Calm Before the Storm update. I don't know if I missed it last time. I don't think I missed it last time because I specifically remember looking in defensive abilities for a weakness. As Sol casts this and the light comes out, the ghosts, like, bits of their ectoplasm burn off. Little bits of them kind of, like, detach from the body and float a couple inches before poof, off into the air.
And because they are ghosts, this is the first time I've interacted with them. So I am now able to make a skills check to determine the best way to permanently lay them to rest.
Okay, religion check. 11. I'm sorry, it's 11.
Motive, actually.
Oh, nice. So it's 11 if they take full, is that right?
I think 11 was half damage.
11 was half? That's what I thought too. Okay.
Yeah. Spirit Sleuth says that the DC is 10 plus the undead creature's hit dice or the Haunt's challenge rating.
Understood. Make it happen. Yusuke Urameshi. Spirit Sleuth. Good. I'm glad somebody laughed at that.
Thought it was kind of funny.
Good. Thank you.
Spooky.
Spooky
I didn't
Ghost.
get it.
Oh.
Funny.
It's a real good
Was that
anime.
healing, or was that just... What was that?
I guess, yeah, also there would be
I've
healing
just
involved
unleashed
too.
a smile bomb.
Smile bomb. And how much would Aloran be healed for that? Because he's not Dark Knighting.
33. Everything living gets healed for 33 hit points.
Nice.
That brings me back up to full. Hooray.
Man, white mages in this game are good. Okay. So Sol would... As Sol's casting this, and they recoil away from the holy power, it dawns on Sol that all of them, though of course they're dead and their faces are covered by, like, gear by and large, looking into their eyes, a lot of them look really young, as if they had been just freshly drafted, recruited, what have you, and jammed onto a ship. To put them to rest is... The best way to do that would be some way to, like... It's hard to phrase what I'm trying to say. The idea here is they were kids who didn't know what they were getting into, and then they died for it. I think Sol can find a flavorful reason why, or how to put Ghost to rest over that, because I'm not really grabbing anything right now, and there's no one way, but that's why they've come back.
Because they didn't experience life?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Also,
we may
like,
as well solve that the way we've solved everything else so far.
by heel
We will
bombing?
get some snacks together. We will get some snacks together at some point, and we will set up the mother of all triple triad tournaments, and there will be music and dancing. So any spirit that wished to take part in something they were denied would have that chance.
Okay, yeah, that works for me. I can dig it.
But the question is, would they face me or would they face someone else?
This.
I think they would
That's
face
the question.
Seto Kaiba the dragon. You suddenly
I'm
notice that
very confused.
Parallax's eyes are very blue. Anyway, it passes now to Ghosty, who is going to... let's tech Parallax. Yeah. Well, no, that one hasn't done its thing. Will saves all round once again.
Killing me.
That's the idea. It's your last session. I should be targeting you.
I'll be honest. I might be able to squeeze in one more after this.
Okay.
Of course.
Now that I've been thinking about it. Well, I don't want to leave you guys completely hanging.
Give us a few more rounds, then we'll be there.
All right.
I might die here. Who knows?
So we've got a panic to Kisri then. The ghost does not move. At this point, you guys are all a little desensitized to horrible, scary sounds, I suppose. And it passes to Kisri.
I have a question because it is valid.
Okay.
My cutting torch is a part of me. It has been for 30 years. When you are panicked, you normally scramble and do everything you can to get through a door. Does that mean I cut through the door?
You can. As long as you don't physically have to hold the thing, which you don't, because robot.
No, it's part of my arm.
Mm-hmm. So you could cut through the door, you could open the door. Either is fine, but that's probably what you're doing.
Yeah, open the door and zoom, because that's what panic would do.
Alright, what is your fly speed?
60.
60,
Perfect.
so 60 feet straight up then, if you would.
Peacing on out of here.
Peacing on out of here, and it goes to Parallax.
Parallax, I get to use my breath weapon finally. So, break wind. Oh, that's a lot of ones.
Not
now
enough Taco Bell.
There's attack there. The two below me are gonna get winded.
Dragon wind breath!
It's a reflex.
This is not going to end well, by the way. My running away.
It's a reflex save, did you say?
Yes.
Already. Because an 8 would miss per bad.
That's not a, yeah.
Got you. Okay. DC 15 reflex save. Here we go. Somehow that's my worst save. That's weird for me. Boom. Boom. Nevertheless.
Yeah, really.
They're able to do a dodge.
Okay, I saw 2 more of those.
Okay, understood. Anything else?
That's all I can do right now.
Okay, understood. Boom, bam, and one more ghost bringing up the rear. 5 and 30, and time for some will saves. Oh, Lauren. Oh, Parallax. No, Brienne.
If only I had rolled that earlier.
Indeed. That'd been nice.
This isn't fun.
It's not.
This is not fun.
I need one from the Crafter of Spells, too, please.
This is our first encounter, too.
Crafter of spells?
Second.
Spellcraft?
It has a spoop.
It has a spoop! And the Lizard Wizard would fail as well, unless he would like to use a... Well, he hasn't gone yet again, so he does not have his immediate action. Saul passes with flying color, so it comes down to whether or not the Lizard Wizard or any of his friends would like to give him a hero point. Parallax also fails.
I'll use my hero point.
Okay.
The thought occurs that after this, I need to sit down with the tier 3 and have a few items made based on spells I can cast. Because this is ridiculous.
Sometimes you gotta hang out with the Crafter. Alrighty, here we go.
It's even worse. I burned my hero point. Oh, no.
Feels bad. Anybody else want to throw any hero points around to
You still have
anybody?
luck points.
but he can't use them right now.
I don't know if yeah, I can only use them on my turn.
That's not true. You use them as an immediate action, but you don't have. It hasn't gone back around to your turn yet, so you don't have another immediate action to spend.
Do we have hero points? Like, do they stack from last time? Because I think
we only had the one.
Yeah, just the one. Anyway, so 5 rounds to everyone. Aloran's 3 has gone to 5 and reset. Parallax is panicked for 5 rounds. The Lizard Wizard is panicked for 5 rounds.
Hooray.
And it passes to Aloran.
Just cowering.
Aloran is at panic point. And out passes to a spoopy ghost who is not panicked. I think we have to go after Soul. 5, that's stretching the token. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Moving through the threat ranges of lots of panicked folks. I'm gonna reach out and we're gonna do a touch of you. And that is also I know you're panicked, but ding! But that is on the end of a spellcraft check as well for Parallax. And a 22 over Soul's Touch.
That's a hit.
Alrighty. If you can make a fort save for me. And that passes. And it's 27 shadow damage cut in half as this thing reaches into you, and the last moments with your former master come flashing through your mind as your body rapidly ages.
Can I has that?
And can you has? You can. The ability is called Corrupting Touch, which is behind a religion check. And yes, you've rolled it. Nice, fair enough. I guess that makes a lot of sense for the Shadow Dragon to have an ability that allows them to pass part of their body incorporeal-like through someone else to do 76 points of shadow damage with a fort save to have it.
Question.
Yes.
Is this sort of necromantic effect considered a death effect?
It is not. But
negative energy?
It is shadow damage.
So it is not negative energy.
Right. Also worth noting, because now Parallax would know this, creatures immune to magical aging are immune. But otherwise it beats all forms of DR.
Negative energy in this setting is shadow energy. It's not positive in shadow, it's
there
light
is
and
no
dark.
difference.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Positive is...
Then negative energy it is.
Yeah.
Does that change anything for you?
If it's going to keep coming after me, I know what I'm casting on myself next turn.
No, fair enough. Alrighty, so then it passes to the Lizard Wizard, who drops his staff. The staff falls down to land near where Brienne's is. And you must flee from the source of your fear for the next 5 rounds. Which, honestly, at that point, I think you're at cowering as well, unless you want to jump. You could.
That's where I go. I literally run 20 feet back.
Okay, so to do that, remember, the floor as you're looking down is the wall from the point of view of your character. You can't, there's a bed there that you're standing on the frame of that's bolted to the floor. So you could jump and try to grab a bed falling down, but I would also say you're at the point where you could just be panicked. Or just cowering, rather.
What would I think I would be running.
Okay, sure. In that case, if you could make a reflex save for me.
Yep. Let me give you a reflex save.
Nice. Okay. So that's more than good enough for you to just, like, your staff drops, your hat probably falls off as you make this jump and floats daintily down to the bottom of the floor as you just go over the side of the bed, dive down. You fall into darkness, but you are able to grab hold of one of the beds, and the bed is right above you, and you are hanging on to it, and it passes to Brienne, who is...
So I'm trying to I'm wondering if I would do the same thing, though. I would be passing through a lot of enemies if I tried to move where I am from right now. I don't know. How many acrobatics checks can I make in a single round?
As many as you need.
Okay. So I make an acrobatics check to leap to here.
Yeah, sure.
And then try to make another check to leap down to here.
Yeah, it's fine.
I am like a panicked, frightened ninja. I'm just going to be trying to parkour my way right the heck out of here.
Parkour! Yeah, that's essentially a double move, I suppose. Go for it.
All right, let's do it. Okay. So the first one, because I can't do a lot of things right now, but I can definitely parkour.
Parkour! I don't like The Office that much, but every time I hear that word, I have to shout that and pretend I'm jumping on a desk.
Yes. How'd that one go?
That's a 34.
Okay.
So that one's probably the harder of the two, as you have to, like, you're hanging from a web net. You let go, push off, backflip down, and you land there.
And then I try to do another one, and I try to jump down onto this next rung here.
Okay.
If I can do that.
Yeah, you can.
And I will certainly try to.
Double moving.
Parkour!
Parkour! Yep, fair enough. You stick the landing both times.
Why can't they roll like this on my saves?
And can you give me one more acrobatics check?
Sure. I could probably... Yeah, hold on.
Nice.
Wait, was that my sing or dance perform?
That was your sing.
Okay, let me roll my dance.
You turn into Sindel from the Mortal Kombat. Okay, so you were there and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So you've fallen 30 feet. And then the acrobatics check cuts it down to 20. Josh has grabbed a ledge. You are deliberately trying to land on a place, so...
Yeah.
Remember in the playtest when it used to be you would take an amount of damage equal to the distance of the fall? That was so good for me. You'll just take 9 points of non-lethal damage as you land on the ground, or land on the bed, and you fall like prone in that square, and a couple of ghosts are going to come be your friend.
No,
5, 10.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Actually, this one likes the Lizard Wizard better. The Lizard Wizard is unaware of this attack, so it targets his touch either way. Just your touch minus your dex, basically, because this guy is jumping out of the darkness at you. A booga booga booga! Stupid dog, you made me look bad. There we go. Here it is. Courage the Cowardly Dog references are over. It's time to kill my friends. 15 over the Lizard Wizard's touch minus dexterity.
15 or touch. Let's see. I'm looking at my attacks. I need my defense. My touch is 15.
Nice. Make a fort save.
Or you said minus dex?
Mm-hmm. So who would hit? Make a fort
so
save.
then it's a 12.
Nice.
Still make the fort save?
Please. 31 shatter damage, and you take the whole thing. Oof. Oof, indeed. Oof.
Yep. I'm not feeling good. That's over half. That said, my limit break is now active.
That is a thing. Alrighty, this ghost would like some Aloran. Aloran! 17 probably gets your touch.
Yeah.
For 31 man, I'm real good at rolling the same number twice. Fort save for half, 31 shatter damage. And it's halved, do we? And this one's gonna go Paralyx for nope, never mind. Okay, Spellcraft, you're up.
No touchy.
No touchy. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Dragon.
Again.
Okay. And this is
Every
why.
living creature gets 33.
And several.
Every ghost gets 22.
Several will saves. Actually, there are some that it won't matter because it's will save for at least 22. Well, I'll make the saves. So 1,
DC is currently 17.
2, 3, a 4, a 5, a 6. Okay. So a past save would take 11 damage.
Yes.
Alrighty, fair enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's that much damage. It's a lot of damage, is what it is. I think that actually 42. You are a failed save, and you would take that one's gone. 1 kill. Even on a failed save, 2 kills. Or on a past save, 2 kills, rather. That makes more sense. That one's at that HP. An amount of HP that's almost equal to my Patreon. 3 kills. And 4 kills. If you'd like to flavor those kills. You monster.
I call forth a single mote of healing energy, which oscillates between copper-colored, silvery, and gold. The oscillation becomes faster and faster as it starts strobing, and the sphere floats over to the center of the area of effect and explodes. Vari-colored metallic, shimmery mites of healing energy fall upon the party and the ghosts.
I like the party part.
Dance party.
of that.
That's right, dance party.
Dances so you don't die.
I like the party part of that description. How
I
much?
do like that part.
33 hit points to the party.
Woo, batful.
Now, does that mean that the Lizard Wizard still has the Lizard Wizard's limit break active? And is that only for the combat? I'm still kind of confused on those rules.
No, limit breaks can only be activated if you are at half life. So
Okay.
his limit break is unactive.
Got you.
Yep, exactly. In fact, the sheet will do it for me.
Ding! Fair enough. Alright. Soul, Golden Soul, I've had enough of you. What can I do to you? What will do the most pain? You are the one who kills all my friends. Ooh. I'm gonna... Yeah. Do I have to just keep doing that? I guess I have to keep doing that. That's... Well, yeah, because you've passed several saves. I just have to do a grab. Oh, boom! Never mind. And Takisri has a big panic.
Continues running.
Continues running. Fair enough. And Parallax.
Parallax doesn't have anybody on him now, so he's gonna pop away for 5 rounds. So yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Sweet.
If I got it, I have to use it.
Makes sense. Ding. So where do you teleport to?
Outside.
Outside, like...
Oh,
Wait, how long?
You only get 15 feet, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll go to a safe place that I know I've been to. Down in the...
The only...
teleport 15 feet down.
15 feet? Oh, okay. Never mind. I'll go 15 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you only get 15 feet. It's for maneuvering in combat.
Yeah. And the 28 hits the square. Aloran, you technically have a way out now.
Well, if it's not like Dimension Door, I will go up another 60 feet.
Okay. Well, would Aloran like to climb down or jump down?
Oh, sorry, 30. I'm going straight up.
Climb.
Actually, you can't. There's no creature for you to go there. That requires that you teleport adjacent to a creature to make an attack.
Yeah, it does say adjacent to a creature. You fly through the door. Easy peasy.
Yeah. Okay.
Fast turn.
All right. Oh, Lizard Wizard, there's a ghost in your face.
Yes, and I'm still panicked, so just no actions but get the heck out of Dodge.
Okay.
Air.
Is that what it is? No actions except get out of Dodge?
You gotta flee from the source of your fear. Yeah.
All right. It's the one guy. All right, I'm moving 20 more feet back.
Alrighty.
Yourself.
Run from me! So, it provokes an attack of opportunity, and a 20 would hit you, over your touch. If you can make a fort save for me.
I can, definitely.
Boom.
Whoop-pow!
Whoop-ah! 27 shatter damage.
There's my fort.
Half of 27 shatter damage. Then make a reflex save.
Oh, reflex. Well, never mind.
As you've now...
There's the reflex.
The fort and the reflex are both successful. You'll take half damage, and you're able to grab onto another bed as you're playing a weird game of leapfrog. Speaking of leapfrog, O'Brien.
So, half damage is how much?
Half of 28. Or half of 26.
Okay,
13.
14, gotcha.
And Brienne.
Another acrobatics check to try and leap down to here.
Okay.
Because ladders are a trivial thing when you're running for your life.
Makes
This
sense.
is some Inception stuff right here. We're just floating through the stuff.
Yep.
So that's a whole from 25 down to 15. So 5 points of damage as you basically just roll off the bed and are able to catch yourself.
And then I'm just going to squat in that little corner that I'm in right now and just huddle there shivering.
Gotcha. Alrighty. We need to do that thing. That would be good. Isn't those in a... Actually, he's not going to move that place. He's going to stay. Wah! Don't do that, ghost! No!
Oh, God.
And now it's the biggest of
I
ghosts.
assumed it's final form.
It has. You're in the most danger. I need to... I'm just counting a 15-foot radius. The biggest 15-foot radius I could go here and hit. 15... Okay, yeah. So then I will need a fort save from the Lizard Wizard and a Lauren as this ghost floats in and it reaches out its hands and your vital essences are drained from you. And one from old Lauren. Ross. Fort save,
Sorry.
please.
I didn't. My apologies. Okay.
It's okay. I'm awake too.
I had to get up at like 3 a.m. in order to take my sister to the airport this morning because she's off to Costa Rica.
Nice.
Yeah, school trip stuff.
Double.
There's
nice.
your 10.
Alrighty, so 20 passes, a 16 does not. Do you have... So it's just out of Parallax's line of sight, unfortunately. So Aloran passes, the Lizard Wizard does not, and takes 11 points of shadow damage. As you see the ghosts...
Do I take anything?
You take nothing.
Okay.
You see the ghost puts a lot of its ectoplasm begins like materializing out of the air like something brought out of the freezer that begins to sweat. It puts itself back together again for that much, and then it goes to Soul, and Soul's gonna just nuke me to death anyway, but it is what it is. What you got for me, Soul? Golden Soul.
Yes. Kilaga.
Kilaga. The big woof as I make the will save. Bless that. Alrighty, here we go. First one remaining gets a fail. Second one remaining also fails.
Third one gets a pass.
Third one gets a pass. There is no third one. There are only two remaining dead. That one does survive. That one... No, it failed. It failed real bad, didn't it? So... Because it's DC 20, right?
17.
17.
I really need to start buffing my wisdom.
Yes, fair. So then this one will
And
take...
tackling, because that'll really increase the amount of healing I can do.
5, 6... Okay. So that one is still in one piece. If you'd like to flavor that kill. Only one this time.
This time, instead of an oscillating sphere of energy. It starts off with a series of small drifts that are almost like paper airplanes made of positive energy. Only the ghost that's taking the most amount of damage starts getting covered in them to the point where they stop looking like paper airplanes and start looking like a rain of arrows. You'd think the ghost would say something about enduring in the shade because it is the shade, but then it crumbles.
Nice. I can dig it. And Ghost goes poof. And to speed it along, Tikisri's running, Parallax is running, Lauren's running, the Lizard Wizard's running, Brienne's running.
Any party members that are within the radius of effect of this spell are healed 33 hit points.
Feels good.
I think that is. Am I still in range of that, or am I too far away now?
It's 40-foot diameter, so...
So we're still out of range.
I am out.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
out.
okay.
So this ghost is going to...
Well, I could always take some time off from destroying the undead to heal everyone. I mean, it's kind of what I do.
I mean, we're pretty... Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
Destroy the undead.
I'm slightly
Destroy the undead.
I'm slightly over half health. I'm good.
Alrighty, let's get some saves.
I've got
Saves day Fortitude, I think. Yes, fort save from Brienne and from the Lizard Wizard, please.
No touch attack.
No touch attack, different ability.
Okay. I might actually be able to make this. We'll see. If I can get to my freaking... Okay, here we go.
1 fail. 2 fails. Now, Josh, remember, you do have... When you comes back around to your initiative, you get your immediate action back. So if you'd like to spend a point to re-roll, you certainly may.
right now. Yes.
Oh, I feel like I feel like I baited that one. My bad. All right. So the pair of you take 7 points of shadow damage. You take average amounts of shadow damage, and I get
Oh wow,
some HP back.
I thought that was going to be way worse. Why is it not worse?
And the worst is yet to come, my friend. All right. So and on to spellcraft it goes.
I need to revise my opening strategy for dealing with large numbers of undead. That is simply a note to self.
Okay.
Now, how many undead are remaining? That one ghost near my teammates?
Just the one.
Yep.
All right. I am centering the burst of healing energy on the ghost. And all living party members take 33 points of healing.
Okay.
Nick does make a good point. Can you reach it from 75 feet?
Let me double check because I still have a move action.
Yeah, you should use that.
Range is 100 plus 10 per level, so he has 175 foot range.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's got plenty of... Okay.
Back to full.
And am I a dead ghost? Am I a dead ghost? That's literally 1 over. Okay, fair enough. And flavor that kill.
The shade begins laughing coldly for a second, thinking it bested things, simply because the first few bolts of positive energy that fell upon it didn't manage to destroy it entirely. But then positive energy comes up from behind, seems to tap it on the shoulder, and then spears it through its non-existent heart.
Charming.
Charming indeed. These are probably my favorite flavored bursts of radiance I've ever heard. Minerva be praised. And initiative is off. It takes a little while, but everybody gets their wits back about them.
Brand's gonna is huddling in the corner, crying a little bit for a little while longer.
Once we actually have control over our faculties again, so who's with me in the vote of going back outside, letting me make a bunch of wands of that spell he keeps throwing at them, and we all just come in here and raise the place?
Oh, also there are other spells that would be quite useful if you could make them on a long-term item, and I start listing them. There's Shell 2.
Make a paper list.
I shall.
Okay, so
Does anyone have any ethers?
No, which is another reason I suggested we leave and come back.
All right. Can you make ethers?
Yes.
A few of them probably wouldn't go amiss, but as far as all of this, how's everyone else's health looking?
I'm at full.
Same.
Full.
Same.
I think it's hard to
so
not be
yeah,
at full.
Pride and our
Mentally, not
MP
so
that
much.
were damaged.
I think it's really hard to not be at full with a holy blaster in the party. In any case, can I get a perception check from Parallax and Kissery real quick? Nice. Good dragon. So as you guys fly up through what is clearly another hallway, the door in front of you is a door, but as you're looking around, there are several piled up bones at the bottom. Several of them are broken. There are no complete skeletons this time. It's not hard to determine what happened. The gravity shifted and people were to have fallen and slammed into the side of the place and died, but it almost looks as if just the skeleton had done so. The skeleton hits and then bones shatter everywhere. As Lauren retrieves Lauren's blade.
Collecting all the bones, putting them in storage.
Okay.
Yep.
So, do we have consensus? We leave and come back?
Yes. I'm going to start working on a list of spell items that should be made.
I think it's a waste of time, but whatever.
Okay, we've come across at least 9 of these ghosts so far. Do you
And
really
we
want
hard work of them.
Yes, and then we had to run away because we couldn't keep our minds. If we come across another group of them, who's to say they don't make the healer run?
I have spells that can be used. I just need to remember to actually use them and target my allies as well as myself before starting to damage those things. I was remiss in my duties, and for that I apologize. Saul bows.
Long-winded.
Well, I guess if you want me to be quicker, I done goofed and I'm sorry.
I have some abilities that could deal a lot more harm to these creatures. However, I didn't want to get you in the blast radius.
What are they?
What are they? They're spells. They're
Yes.
area effect spells.
Well, I have spell resistance, so blast away if it's just me.
Well, it was everybody. But... It's the thing. It's like, okay, one person. Maybe. No. I'd just rather not.
It's okay. Tiki will craft us new party members.
Lizard Wizard is probably like slapping his head a little bit, trying to shake the cobwebs out. No.
So we have 2 for leaving and coming back, 1 against.
Brienne is silent. I mean, her faculties are back to her, but like, she still can't really unsee what she just like saw from what the ghost like did with the horrible vision. So I want
all
out of here.
for not having to deal with my nightmares while I'm awake. So perhaps retreating for a moment or two.
I
I
want out
guess
of
if
here.
we're going to craft stuff, the rest of us will rest.
I don't need much
Indeed.
of a rest myself.
All right, well, let's reconvene outside, and I'll see what I can make to come up with to try to stop that from happening again.
To Kissery, one more thing. If you have the time,
Yes.
it would be very advantageous for you to make a wand, advantageous for all of us, for you to make a wand of Holy 2, is what I believe. Yes, that's a spell. Forgive me.
No, if we are going to be making a lot of items, it might be best if we head back to town. We could actually make better preparations there. It's a long trek, but
Okay.
all right then.
I want out of here.
All right, let's go then.
Go then. I thought we were resting here.
Well, would y'all like to
we're
rest, or
resting
would
in
y'all like?
town because it's safer.
At
Okay,
the very
well,
least, let's not rest inside the ship
Have
where
fun.
the ghosts are.
Do what?
Let's at
Have
least
fun. I only have an hour of dragon form right now, so
Well, we can sleep here
fine.
and return to make better preparations, or I can try to make something, but I wouldn't be able to make enough for everybody. This is something that's going to require several days of preparation. I can only make one magic item at a time.
I don't think we really have days to
yeah,
be here.
you like to waste my time. I don't understand.
The lizard wizard is just kind of making notes to himself, like basically he like I shouldn't get close to these guys. That's not good. I think I'll hit them farther away so they can't scare me. Like he's talking to himself like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is not going anywhere.
Apparently, neither are we.
All right.
At the very least, can we agree that
now? All in favor of continuing? Just raise your hand. I guess just type in the chat and say who wants to go.
Yes, all raise our hands.
Lizard wizard raises his hand.
I can go, I can stay. I'm not one for making decisions on my own. Basically, I'm abstaining from voting. It doesn't matter to me either way.
Okay. I'm going to say that Nigel votes with Takisri. That seems to be what his character would want to do in this situation.
Especially since he's already experienced how bad this fierce stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, plus he's an engineer, and that's kind of the default setting for us. Prep and then get back into things.
Yeah. I've never played in a game with Jason in it that it wasn't go prep forever and ever. Okay, so that is 4 people out of the 7, so that is a majority. Of course, if anyone wants to stay at the ship, they're certainly welcome to do so. I'm not going to tell anyone to split or not split the party. It's on y'all. But on Chocobo back, you guys can make it there. Basically, at this point, you'd been... It's like the sun has gone down all the way at this point. Night has set as you guys return to the city. Nothing ambushes you between here and there. You, of course, still basically run along what, for the lack of a better term, is the beachfront. Looking off the side, you can see down the island. The trees remain the lattice that they are.
Okay.
Occasionally you pass more footprint. You pass your own footprints as well. It's snowing lightly, but not light enough to really cover, or not heavy enough to like cover anything. Occasionally some footprints of the little spider monkeys, but that's all.
Okay.
All right. So if we're in the city, can I go like find the mayor, and I'd like to tell her about kind of what's going on, and I also have a couple questions for her.
Yeah, totally. You guys reach the gates. It's dark and it's been a little while, so the town has set up more of its defenses. As you get too close, a spotlight hits all of you. You guys can see the big guns turning your direction. More than enough to, if they chose to fire, you would be a little grease stain in the snow, basically, but they see who you are, and there's that proverbial "open the gates" that passes like 5 or 6 ways, and the gate to the town opens.
Okay.
It's not hard at this point to find everyone in the town. Everybody's at Flapjack's, basically. Flapjack, or like the various, I won't say seedier because that's wrong, but the hole-in-the-wall jazz clubs that have begun to spring up out here.
Not feeling it tonight.
Fair.
Sure.
The Lizard Wizard is able to find the mayor.
Sure. So I find her and I say hello, and I'll get something to eat.
Okay. She looks up. My, it looks like you've seen a ghost.
God damn it.
You reached for the lowest fruit on the branch, then proceeded to dig a trench threw the fruit in said trench, and then told us to eat it.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's got the spirit of it, right?
So Lizard
Alright.
Wizard is gonna like grab his hat and basically cover his head for a second and be like, "You don't know the half. Let me tell you."
I want to acknowledge Spellcraft's retort pun, which was also very good.
I just want to pretend he didn't say it.
Not me. Well, what did you find out there?
We found an airship, and it's filled with ghosts. And I for a little while fought them pretty well, and then the whole party got scared pantsless. Not literally, but yeah, that's why we're back. It's going to be too tough for us to fully explore the airship without some preparations, and so came to you to update you on what happened, and hopefully the library in the city has some wizard stuff on dealing with ghosts. That's why I'm hoping.
I see.
Also, of course, to see you.
I appreciate
He
it.
smiles at that.
And she smiles as well. And in the back flap Jack, food for the banger, and poof, like sends it flying across the room to land perfectly, like sliding into home plate perfectly in front of you. Well, I'm sure there's someone in town who sells scrolls if that's what you're looking for.
That'd be good. Because they use they basically affect your mind and make you want to run. So we'll do a lot better in there if we can like not be running. Thankfully our friend that heals is able to deal with them quite well and keep us from dying. But you should have seen me running. I literally was falling into beds, having to grab onto them not to go squish and poof. And he makes a bunch of hand gestures and like that.
I see. And she starts she covers her mouth laughing as you've turned your horrendous experience into humor, and you begin to with your hands. I'm just glad you all made it back.
Yeah, some of us wanted to rest and then go back and try to fight it out, but and I was one of them because, frankly, I wanted to prove how brave I am, and there's an old saying about the better part of valor. So,
yeah.
I think for us, the better part of valor is luck, though. Wouldn't you agree? And she reaches out and touches your arm.
I return that gesture and I say, "Yep, I agree to that, Mayor." And he actually legitimately almost wants to kiss her, but he's going to resist the instinct to do that.
Okay, fair enough.
He's still he on the one hand he's like Lux says go for it, but on the other hand, if it goes wrong, the entire town is liable to turn on him. So I'm gonna use my better judgment.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll get to know her a little better.
Sure.
Plus, I don't know how someone would feel about a Banga and a Hume suddenly getting romantic.
Yeah.
Because he has a little bit of experience with people being against Bangas because of being in Rabbit Caster and basically getting kicked out of the town.
Of course.
On a whim.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to do?
Brienne it's still like the middle of the night, right?
It's probably you guys roll into town about 9 o'clock. It's probably 9:15 by the time you reconvene at Flapjack's, if you choose to go there.
Yeah, I would reconvene at Flapjack's because I'd want to talk to the mayor and Flapjack about a few things.
Okay.
Okay. Brienne is kind of just gonna. She looks exhausted right now, but she's just gonna go somewhere to get a drink, and she'll ask if anyone wants to come with, and she mentions a Lauren. If he wants to come with to get a drink, right? She really needs one.
Oh,
Lauren would go with.
She looks like she looks like crap right now.
Lauren would go with.
All right.
I heard it.
I have a little bit that would help you.
Hmm.
I have a little bit that would help you now that we don't have to worry about reaching across an entire airship room. And
what do you have that can help with?
I
What do you
cast
have?
Restore, which should help with a good amount of the bone weariness, and considering that it can heal a certain amount of ability damage, it probably helps with mental and emotional fatigue as well. Final Fantasy D20 has no heart disease, but this is within the same wheelhouse.
I really appreciate it. I do, but I think there's more than just the ghost that's on my mind right now. So I just need a moment. I just need a drink, and I need to rest after getting a drink.
I'm only on for getting a drink.
And then I shuffle up.
Anybody else?
Take that as a no. Okay, so the
I'm
closest.
going to.
Good.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to spend my time exploring and mapping the wilderness around the airship. Might as well be useful while I'm here.
Okay, makes sense to me. So that would mean, do you want to like spend your night like out in the wilderness then?
Basically, I'm looking for any kind of pocket of shadow energy where I can make a cave or any caves around.
Makes sense.
Have shadow energy.
So you map around the airship, and one thing that Parallax does find is the other half of the airship. It's almost as if, though clearly that isn't what happened, the optical illusion, I guess, that is presented is as if this airship were bent, like, to be half a circle. You find the other half of the airship sticking up at the opposite angle with no clear, like, break or signs of a crash or anything of the sort. Rather, it just went straight down and appears to have popped up on the other side. You assume there would be more shadow energy in there because in there is where probably there are more ghosts and spookies and things, but also there is how do I want to word this? There's a bit sticking off the ship on that part that's a different color. As if it were like a late edition, something like that, or had the ship been like taken back somewhere and then refit. Seems to be some sort of like command tower kind of thing.
I suppose I'll wait. I'll keep a safe distance until the rest of the party returns, but I'll inform them that when they do.
Okay. Meanwhile, Brienne and Lauren go to find a place to get a drink. Do they want that place to not be Flapjack's?
I mean, I guess it could be.
It's up to
I
you.
have no preference.
Okay.
Sure.
Flapjack's is the most
Go to the
popping,
bar.
and he looks at you. He looks at the pair of you.
So Brienne says 1 scotch and 1 lemonade.
Understood. 1 scotch, and he picks up the glass, and it doesn't take much of a whap with his hammer to get it to go the like 6 inches, or more than 6 inches, I guess, more like the foot across the bar to you. 1 lemonade, and he picks up a lemon and puts it betwixt his bicep and his forearm in the the crook of his elbow, squeezes, and out comes the lemon juice.
All right.
And for the warrior.
Oh,
Just
I'm
a
buying
beer.
for him.
Oh.
One beer! And he picks it up, flips it. The Vieira next to him fires an arrow that has like a C-shaped tip and pins it onto the table.
That is some really strong glass.
It is.
Must be.
The arrow again is like it's C-shaped. It's like a crescent moon, so it sticks not into
I
the.
mean, Flapjack, like literally hammering a shot across. Like how the hammer doesn't break the glass has got to be strong.
Actually, both Aloran and
They are masterwork. I have probably masterworked most of the glasses now.
Aloran and
We
Brienne
spend a
both
lot of time
notice.
there.
Aloran and Brienne both notice the hammer is a little cracked after it hits the glass. The little like foot, as if the hammer didn't like hitting that particular glass. Anywho,
Right.
drinks there are.
And then as soon as Brienne gets the scotch, she actually sheepishly pushes it over to Aloran, and she starts sipping at her lemonade.
It is very
Right.
freshly squeezed from an orc's bicep.
Yep.
There's the session title.
Were
You
you not
said you
actually
want-
planning on drinking?
No, but you did say that you wanted to get a drink. So
I haven't. Fair enough.
if you remember now, out of character, referring to like when he was talking about the
Yeah,
who wanted
yeah.
to get a
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna say fair enough. Wait, that was you the other night?
she kind of turns a little red. Yeah, but I don't really want to talk about. I'm not in the mood to really talk about that right now, though. You're a soldier. You're clearly not a regular soldier, so I'm sure you've been through a lot and you've seen a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not a soldier, but I have seen and done a lot. When those things attacked us, I saw visions from home. Have you heard of the Sargon Empire?
In passing. Not much.
Actually, no, you haven't. Sorry, my mic was
Oh.
muted. I would have got to you faster. You have no idea what that is.
How do we not know, like, basic... We have terrible public education systems in all of our homelands, it seems. Because we
No
just don't
teaching.
know a thing about geography. Just absolutely nothing about geography.
Well, maybe y'all don't.
Boom!
Forgive me, I'm just a common grunt. Jeez.
I'm sure I'm in earshot, and I'm just gonna be like, my education was just fine, thank you.
I didn't say this in character. I just shake my head. No, can't say that rings a bell.
Well, it's from across the street. It's in the southern continents. That's where I'm from, and I used to live in its capital.
I'm gonna take a stab at it and say some war or something came up. Some magical fascist sort of party rose to power.
It wasn't a war. It was
Civil?
it was a slaughter, and it was probably my fault.
Okay. I'm just gonna
So
like
this is
actually
where Brienne's gonna go into like explaining like her powers, and she alludes a little bit to what she used to do. And with my vigilante work there, the Imperialists never really liked it, but they kind of saw me as more of a nuisance. But then, only a few days before I came here, the whole capital erupted into chaos. Tanks were rolling through the streets. Black mages and white mages alike were being dragged out of buildings and crammed into firing lines and shot up. And I watched a woman who I was trying to save get shot directly with a tank shell. And one moment she was there, and then the next she just wasn't. All that was left was just a red cloud. I
kind
barely
of
escaped with my life,
chuckled.
and my family is still there too.
I kind of
along with
chuckled
my
a bit
master.
at the red
Mhm.
cloud part. I guess it didn't hit her head on then. If it hit her head on, there wouldn't have even been a cloud. It would have just seemed like a wind impact rushing past you. 1 second she's there, next she's gone.
Anyway, so I guess but I thought that running away, going away from there and sitting tight might be the best thing, but I can't get it out of my head, and I can't stay here, is what I'm trying to say.
Look, you
And
have
the
a
only reason I'm
major
telling you this
advantage.
is because you've probably seen you've seen horrible things too. And I get the feeling that despite what you're trying to put off, there is good in you.
There's good in me. That's why I'm here and not back where I grew up.
Anyway.
So, it sounds like you've made up your mind about something rather decisive, so may I ask, why are you talking to me about it? It seems like one of those occasions where you're flipping the coin only to reinforce your decision with yourself.
I don't know. Everything happened with me so suddenly. Really, I only dragged you over because of the whole wanting to get a drink thing. Also, I didn't want to make things awkward talking to everybody about this.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I don't blame you in that regard. But for one, I can tell you, mobilization of military forces the way you're describing don't happen overnight, and they don't happen because of one vigilante. This is somebody else making a power play behind the scenes, and they just used you as one of many PR excuses to move in. So first off, don't blame yourself on that.
Well,
hell, you actively tried to stop it. That's much better than I did originally.
I didn't exactly try to stop it, but I do want to try and finish it.
You didn't.
I might not be able to fight them, but there are still a lot of people back home that will need my help, and I did swear that I would help protect them. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk to the mayor and ask if I can get an airship discreetly to head back. And hey, if you and the others ever feel like kicking some fascist ass, well, hit me up over the orb.
Add that to my long list that I got going, I say with a bitter chuckle. But yeah, I understand.
Thanks.
Look, you do what you need to do. Where I come from, at the very least, people aren't having genocide committed against them every day. So I guess in that way, my situation's not worse than yours. But I am actively being hunted by my own home nation.
Well, I'm probably going to be in your shoes pretty soon then.
You have the advantage of having a double
On
life.
second thought, can I have that drink back for a moment?
Slides the scotch back over.
I try to take a sip of it and then immediately gag at it. Gods, I don't know what it is. I could never drink this.
Why do you think I stick to ale? Normally, if I could, I'd drink mead, but I haven't found a good recipe outside of the one that they used to serve at my favorite bar.
I'm afraid I don't have the stomach for any alcohol. Anyways, I'm just going to go home, take a long nap, and in the morning, I'm going to go ask the mayor if I can get a discreet airship ride back south.
Are you the religious type? Or at the very least, do you believe in the primevals?
Sure.
Do a bit of soul searching. My advice, there are a lot of them out there that are probably getting upset with the way things are. And while I'm no religious man and I wouldn't go seeking aid from religious folk, mainly due to my own sins, at the very least, there are people like Soul out there who could help you, or Takisari.
Maybe.
I think this group is more determined to stick around here and let things play out, and I must be honest, I don't feel
Alright.
strong enough to leave this place yet. But
Right.
if something does come up,
Well,
you find us. Or at the
sure.
very least, you find me, and I'd be more than happy to help. I gotta
Cool.
start whittling down those names on my list after all sometime.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Jareth, thanks for staying quiet, by the way. No problem. Anyway, Brienne is now going to retire back to the apartments and take a very long nap.
Alrighty, duly noted. So Parallax is doing a scout, though those two are drinking scotch from a magical, powerful scotch glass. Lizard Wizard has spaketh to the mayor. I'll say probably Nigel follows to Kisri around. That leaves... What were you going to say,
How many
Ross?
casters do we have in the party?
What was Ross going to say? I heard a Or was that your That might have been your
That was Tiki's
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out how many casters we have in the party.
I am a
5
up to a 6th level caster. I think
Okay.
almost all of us,
I think all
If
of us
not-
do have
yeah.
ability of some kind.
Except for Nigel and
Okay,
Tikisri, yeah.
Besides maybe Nigel, who's just a rogue engineer.
Need whoever indicates that they would like one of the items I'm making. I'm going to make 4 rods of Shelra, which is a 20-foot radius burst that lasts for 7 rounds. Excuse me, it actually lasts for 5 rounds. That gives a +2 resistance. Actually, no, I did it as the 5th level, so it's Shell Rot 2. But yeah, Shell Rot 2, it's basically +4 resistance in a 20-foot radius burst to all your allies. And lasts for 8 rounds.
Okay.
9 rounds.
Nice.
9 rounds.
And that's a...
I mean, with
Apologize.
4 rods of that, and it covers a 20-foot space, that's total coverage of the party, pretty much. And like,
Yeah, and what I was doing that for was basically if we can do that, whoever's in the first in initiative can pop that. We'll have increased saves by 4 for additional moans or whatever.
Sure.
Makes sense.
What spell was that again?
Shell Ra 2.
And remember, all you kids out there who have a Cloak of Resistance, that +4 won't stack with your Cloaks of Resistance. But it's probably much better than your existing Cloaks of Resistance.
I would not be able to use Shell Ra.
Why not?
It's not on my list. I would need to use a UMD, so it's probably not best to give it to me first.
Well, it's going to be on a staff, and I'm going to have to be using UMD anyway. So if you have UMD checks, if anyone has good charisma, they probably should hold one.
I mean, I have a +9
the
to use magic
Lizard has
device.
a +3 to charisma. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
I would, so he will definitely pipe up. Yeah, I'll take one, and maybe I can reverse engineer it so I can actually learn the spell.
It's
So-
a white mage spell.
Yeah. Shelratsu is Astrologian 5, White Mage 5, so it's a DC 20 UMD or Soul.
So I don't know who actually has access to it, but I'll make however many are required or asked for.
Like I said, Lizard Wizard is definitely holding his hand up on that one.
I can
Alright, that
make
means-
it. I have a good use magic device without putting... I have only put 2 skill ranks into it. I can certainly increase that next level.
All right, well then I'll make 3 of them. And give me a
Okay.
second, I'll give you skill checks.
So that means 3 days go by. Or 3 8-hour periods, rather.
Oh, you're allowing me to make more than one in a day?
Yeah. Minimum 1 day is minimum 8 hours. You're fine. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay, cool.
And in that time, I would probably have spirited myself away in an airship at that
This
time.
is still
Okay. I'm not sure what the DC is, but I imagine 38s are fine. Okay, fair
I
enough.
would be more than happy to buff Tikisri during this period.
Okay. And Nigel's probably working on some stuff too. So as you go talk to the mayor, Brienne, she gets kind of wide-eyed when she hears that you'd like to find a ship out, and she's just, well, I'm sorry, hun, but right now there are no ships off the island. Between the storms, between the properties of the island itself, it's just too dangerous.
Well, when are the storms going to pass?
I can't rightly say. There hasn't been a new ship in since you guys got here.
Damn it. Look, I need to get back home to where I was. I'll take whatever it is that you have here at the docks.
Well,
I do.
That's just it. We don't have anything. Any of the ships we sent out into the island. They haven't returned.
Days ago.
I'm sorry?
How long ago was this?
Long before you guys arrived.
Damn it. This is awkward.
She kind of smiles. I'm sorry, dear. I guess there's no escape for you.
What the heck? What do you mean? Let's motive that, because that's super...
That's creepy.
Very ominous.
That's creepy. That's no.
Okay, makes sense motive. So she's obviously not, like, she's not veiling a threat by saying that. She thinks she's being sarcastic.
That sounds so much like a threat.
Mayor has a wicked tongue.
Yeah, she does.
You know, and in fact, Lizard Wizard, at seeing you react, he's gonna kind of have his hat a little lower, and he's just gonna try to hide him chuckling too, because he's like, "Oh, I get it."
When your hat is so big it can cover your reptile snout. Fair enough.
All right. I'm just gonna. You know what? I'm at a loss here. I'm just gonna use diplomacy. Literally any way, like this, I can't tell you, but this is like an emergency. I really need to get back home. Is there anything that you can, that's here at the island? There has to be something.
Not unless you have wings.
Is what I'll say.
Transport things off of here and out of here.
Teleport spell is what I'll shrug when I say that.
I'll take a Stargate, a ship, anything. A giant bird.
I'm sorry.
Even rest the damn Star Trek phaser thingy.
I'm sorry, Scotty. There's no one to beam you up. I'm sorry. We don't have anyone powerful enough to teleport anyone on or off the island.
Fine. Let me know when the next ship comes in and docks then.
Of course. I certainly will.
Brienne just storms off then very angrily.
Okay.
And then I guess I'll try to contact the Sir Marcus later that night and see if he can arrange something.
Okay.
We don't have to RP that if you don't want. You can just say maybe a yes or a no. Or...
Understood. Gotcha. Okay. So the question does become, as I'm seeing in chat, how long do we plan on staying in town?
2 additional days, and then we can go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, because if they don't return after a day, I'm going to continue to survey and map the surrounding area.
All right, and the next 2 things are for 2 wands of light 4.
spreading further out.
Got you. Okay, go ahead and make the rolls for your light 4.
No escape for you. That was.
I haven't rolled any ones, so we're good.
Sure. So as Parallax goes a scouting, Parallax does find, right about Shah, a little village built into the trees. As you fly over, you hear the sounds of monkeys screeching, and as you get a little lower down, several of them do have basically, well, yeah, they're powerful enough. They can do this. They reach over to the tree and they break off a branch or even a stick of the tree, and in their hands it forms a javelin, and they all just kind of lean back, and then they see you're not with Scary Robot Lady. And so they don't all try to destroy you.
Are those monkeys that we saw in the snow earlier?
Yes. There are a lot of them. There's probably about 1,000 of them in this village here.
I guess they're a lot more advanced than we originally anticipated. Cool.
Tommy?
Yes, Russ.
I was hoping actually to go out after the first day and say that I was going to go meet up with Idaho's character and help him scouting, because I don't have much of a reason to continue staying in town.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You guys can contact each other and fly back. So Aloran is here as well.
I could be riding on him since he is big enough. Or is he normally big enough to carry somebody?
He is for most of the day.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. These are those things that Dekisri was mentioning about, right? I don't think I was with you all of that time, or I was doing something else.
Well, we saw them when we were headed north from the village.
Really? I don't recall. Strange. My memory must be acting up.
It was on the first day out. That was a while ago. About a
Fair
week.
enough.
It's a week ago,
Maybe
wasn't it? We've been here.
Time flies by so
Yeah.
fast. It feels like it's been months, when in reality it's only been maybe a week.
Yeah.
Well,
Totally didn't steal that joke.
I do appreciate the machine wants us to be equipped. I'm just not used to standing still in one place for very long. I need to keep moving.
Why do you think I came out here to join up with you?
Good point. But it's good to have you. It's nice to have company that's not
Well,
my little brother complaining.
it's
As
never
soon as I'm-
wise to
I don't complain. You complain. Shut up.
never wise to transverse wilderness alone. Even if you are a dragon. Plus, this is more enjoyable than sitting around drinking all day.
As soon as I'm done creating everything, I'll try to round everybody up, start heading that way.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the tower I wanted to tell you about over by the airship. It seems to be different from the rest of the structure. I don't know much about this technology, so
I have a bit more of an idea, as my home nation did use some of it in their military pursuits, but I have nowhere near as much information as Tikisari or Nigel would.
well,
I was a grunt.
perhaps if I fly you close enough, you can get a look at it.
Alright then. I don't really have a good knowledge for this.
Technology would do it. History will probably all. Well, history is weird.
Yeah.
I don't really have any of those knowledge skills.
Engineering, anything relating to
Nope.
vehicles, the military.
Shoot. Ah, crud. This is when I realized that I apparently didn't allocate points per profession soldier. Darn it.
As a small correction, we were actually only gone 2 days since you had changed it to 8 hours per craft.
Got it.
I don't have anything, so I mean, can I just roll a 1d20 plus my int to see if it looks like anything I've ever seen?
Yeah, sure. Nope.
No.
I mean, there are some things you would know. You've been around this caliber of, naval power before. It's clearly the ship's Jason's gonna listen to this and he's gonna chew me out for getting the wrong word, but like its bridge, its control tower. That's where all of the functions, both executive and actually flying the thing, as well as like operations in the ship, would originate from there. It's also very obvious that someone tacked it on. The ship itself, though, of course, Incarnate only has so many assets, whereas the hull of the ship is sort of a like gunmetal gray color. This shines like mithril. Catches the light even a little.
Is it like, I mean, I'm wearing mithril armor. If we get closer to it, does it kind of resemble it?
It's at least like the gilded equivalent of mithril.
I'm just going to kind of do a faint whistle when you bring it close to me and say, we should definitely tell the engineer siblings, or our beds about this. Nothing else, they could scrap this. Looks almost like mithril, or at least a mithril coating, which is, if they can get the mithril off of it, worth a lot of money. But in terms of like what it is, this looks like somebody basically attached this ship this part onto the ship after the ship was made, like a good while afterwards, and they created this to be like a better place to control the ship through, from what little I know of these things. I mean, I just kind of like point around the room. This kind of looks like a bridge to me, the few times I was in one. But yeah, I mean, once again, the engineering siblings,
The nerd.
I don't know what they are. Friends. I don't know how close the Albed are to one another. They would know more. They'd also be able to make money off of this, and I don't know if that matters to you or not. Do you guys need a horde? I always remember growing up listening to stories about dragons and whatnot, and them needing like a horde of gold and gems and stuff to sleep on. Do you have that?
You've seen my horde, actually. He pats his bag of holding.
Oh. Yeah, see, that makes so much more sense. Huh. Now I wonder why the stories just don't have something like that.
The vast majority of his common cards, but you know, that's what's most available for me.
Well,
I just collect whatever I find, you know.
if we ever leave the Isle, then we can certainly try to expand it.
It's been my experience that monsters everywhere have them on them.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I've collected them.
Huh. I guess it's just because I fought mostly other humans and Elvons and other races like that. I haven't actually fought many monsters in my career.
And you
I
know,
wouldn't really know about that.
on that note, let me get a D6 from Parallax, please.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because I'm going to be really generous to the Blue Mage, because I understand that without it, you're kind of hamstrung, and it's going to be a pain to, like, here's a monster, hold it down so Parallax can learn everything from it. As Parallax begins talking about his horde, there's a faint, rustly, rumbly sort of thing from inside the bag of holding, and you open up to see what it is, and there are 2 ghost cards with images of the individuals that you fought. I'll be generous, because otherwise, like, you'll never get the abilities of your class, and it's not like you're not casting off a pool of resources anyway. You're still a prepped caster, as I understand it.
I honestly wasn't expecting too much from this, because I'm like melee centric as the Dragoon, but it's cool that I'm having fun with the Blue Mage. I didn't
It's a fun
expect to
class.
Yeah.
Treat them as 2 more scrolls, basically. There are a lot of abilities the ghosts have. I give you permission to
I did not
metagame,
see
look at the
them-
sheet, and pick 2.
I did not see those creatures drop anything. How did those...
So I still have to do the skill check, I assume.
Yeah.
Your magic is really strange, friend. And that's coming from someone who, well, you saw my magic in action.
Got one.
I mean, it's fascinating and far less scary than mine, but it's still strange.
Well, it's something I'm still learning as I grow. Dragon magic is very old.
Which just brings me to question why I've never seen a dragon in my time. You would think my nation would have tried to... I'm going to be frank with you here, would have tried to weaponize your kin for our wars. So I'm just curious, maybe perhaps they drove them off or killed them in their times, or maybe my continent didn't have dragons. Strange things for other
Had
times.
wars, yeah. We've had wars of our own.
Did you come here because of one as well?
I came here because there was nothing left of where I was. The Aura that raised me had
What
been
that raised you?
the Aura are, I suppose, similar to dragons, but they're humanoids. They are a reptilian race. But I was left, my brother and I, our eggs were left in their town, and we were adopted. But I spend most time out in the wilderness.
I mean, I can tell from the way you handle yourself out here. Very well. I don't mean to pry. I've just never heard of that race before now.
Not at all. Thanks for asking.
Of course.
Oh, I learned ability from this.
Which one did you choose?
So, without looking at anything, Josh, where were you for the last day?
Suddenly the lizard wizard is in court.
Where?
Empire of judges indeed.
Plays.
Objection!
I buried myself in the town library and basically read as much material on ghosts as I could. So, for example, the first thing I would have been looking for a book on shell to see if I even if I can't cast it just by rope because of my class, at least I could learn about it. And then any other intel about ghosts, and I can match that with numbers.
Okay. So, shell is, you can learn what the spell does. It's available to white mages, red mages, and astrologians. You know that the school of magic that you have taught yourself, learned about, etc., is more about the setting on the making of ghosts, not the destroying of them, right? You snap your fingers and things blow up. I will also say that there are places where you can buy scrolls to add to your spell book. I don't know. Well, let me.
I don't actually have a spell book.
The Black Mage does.
I thought it didn't.
Oh, never mind. I lied.
It just knows their spells. It's more so a level of memorization. It's kind of like a mix between the sword. It's like the best aspects of the sorcerer and the wizard in one.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just so used to the ink caster having a spell book. Okay.
I know, right? It's so nice.
It is kind of cool. Okay.
Proper variant casting, or variance, or whatever that phrase is.
Vancian.
Fancy, there it is.
Okay.
It's nice and fancy.
Fancy casting! Let me see what kind of spells you could get. Because I'm pretty sure you can learn the spells in the same way. Most of your spells are going to be, like, explodey things. You have spells that can do shadow damage, but that would be bad because it would be real nice for the ghosts if you did that. Other than that, your next best anything in this sort of fight would be, well, you do learn that ghosts have the ability to see in the dark, but they don't have the ability to see through darkness that has been created magically. So something along the lines of like, let me make entirely sure the spell works the way I think it does. Oops, no, never mind, that probably doesn't at all. Okay, never mind. It does not. I saw a spell that reduced the light, and I thought, deeper darkness, there we go. But it works a little differently. Most of the things the best thing you can do versus ghosts, based on what you know, is just to make sure you hit them where it hurts. And you have the ability, well, mechanically, you have the ability to re-roll damage and re-roll the hits. So it's just a matter of making sure the damage sticks, and when the damage sticks, making sure that it does as much as possible. That said, without the Ghost Touch enchantment on your crossbow staff rifle thing, it will always do half. So about the best thing you could do, unless you want to just do a blast forever, is to go get the Ghost Touch enchantment from Tikisri.
I will absolutely go do that.
There also, actually, I lied. There's a 3rd level Black Mage spell called Black Light, which is you create an area of total darkness. The darkness is impenetrable, even to dark vision, but you can see normally within it. Creatures outside the spell's area, even you, cannot see through it. So you could cast Black Light on yourself. The radius is out 20 feet. It would, if people are around you, they're not going to be able to see, except I think Tikisri has an answer for it. Tikisri probably has an answer for everything. But
I have see in darkness, which means I see through any darkness.
Precisely, but the ghosts wouldn't be able to see you. So that would give you an advantage. On that note, also, I think I would
that
be...
actually would be super good, because like if we get in a situation where we're low health, I can just cast that and we can sneak past them.
Makes sense.
And just as long as we stay in that 20-foot radius. So
even out of 3 dragons, we're still abusing darkness, aren't we, Tiki?
So
my dude, you always abuse darkness.
One of my favorites.
Real quick, before the session ends, it's really important. I should probably mention it. He would say it if he was here. If Jason doesn't have an enchanted weapon, he is in big trouble, because he fired a rifle that was not enchanted at a ghost. I must assume that was his primary weapon, and if he doesn't have anything enchanted, he can't hurt them.
I'm assuming that's why he dropped
enchanted.
it in the first combat.
Now, he dropped it because he got frightened.
No, his weapon is enchanted. It was already a +1 weapon.
Oh, fair enough. I asked him if it was magic, and he said no.
It's his Mako weapon.
His rifle, his actual like gun, no, but his like specialty weapon, his Mako sword, would be.
Okay, got you. Fair enough.
Because basically he's using an energy weapon, and that's what his special weapon should be. Basically, a laser sword, just pew pew.
If you're talking about his gun, though, his gun is not, and I would have to enchant his gun.
Indeed.
Or actually, no, wait, I don't think my ability works if other people are holding on to it. It does, but I'm only able to maintain one form of it by the looks of it. That's a shame.
Indeed.
Or, no.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't work if it's wielded by anybody other than the Red Mage. For shame, for shame.
Makes sense, though.
Mine does.
Well, yeah, that also makes sense.
Yeah, if I actually went in there at half health, like if I lowered my shield, let y'all get me to half health, walk in there with my limit break up, I could literally area of effect burst and enchant everything we own.
Jeez.
It's not a permanent enchantment, only lasts for a few minutes, but I could literally enchant everything we own.
I mean,
that sounds like a final boss sort of backup.
I mean, a few minutes is the length of a boss fight, so...
Indeed.
Oh, also, quick question for housekeeping, because I'm terrified of this coming to bite us in the butt. Did we consecrate the bones and all that sort of stuff safely once we got back to town? I presume we did, but I'd like to make sure we get it stated for the record.
I'm pretty sure Stavel did that spell.
I mean,
Yes, it is something I would do over the intervening 2 days. I would get permission from Flapjack and the Vieira, whose name I can't remember.
Kabaya.
Yes, we would have a little shindig at the bar, and I would be using some of my exorcist abilities to allow the ghosts to get one last taste of life and joy.
Yay.
So we're having a Day of the Dead?
Basically.
Hey!
Aw.
Hell,
Las Muertas.
yes.
Works for me. Alright, fair enough. So is there any other housekeeping? I put in Discord how, I guess I'll also say it out loud, on the stream here is you can gain spells via purchasing scrolls in the same way that a wizard from Pathfinder could. There's just a DC 15 plus spell level spellcraft check after an hour studying the spell, and then you take the spell from the parchment, and it's just a piece of paper now, and there you go. Yeah. Also, you can 1 week of research and 1,000 gil per spell level will also, and some spellcraft checks probably, will also hand you magic.
Cool.
Okay, you're talking about bookkeeping. I do need a little bit of bookkeeping here.
Okay, sure.
I need to find out if Spell has light 4 on his spell list.
He would.
Because I'm...
Well, does he? He's here.
I have up to light 3. I don't have light 4, but if I get permission from the mayor to liberate a few scrolls, I would be able to scribe light 4 into my spells now.
Okay, you would need to purchase the scrolls.
Okay, hey, interrupt you guys, but I do have to go right now.
Bye.
As do I.
You guys.
No, yeah,
Bye,
fair enough.
Guys.
Bye.
Well, we'll do the rest of our bookkeeping between. We'll do the rest of our bookkeeping next time at the beginning. Then before we go out. Good enough for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Nick, thank you for your time and your illusions. However, will they get in next time? Who knows? But in any case,
I can only imagine the reason you're forcing Brienne to stay in the content is that you still have plans for as an NPC, but I guess we won't find out until next week. Either way, it's been fun.
Indeed. Say bye, guys.
Yeah, we'll miss you, man.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.